Oh,
The little this little princess peed in her friend's water bowl the other day yesterday, after they finished
oh
their
my
water.
God.
At least it was
That's true.
empty, but
Oh my God.
I
That's so
wonder though if you
rude,
could capitalize on that and like
Lilac.
teach her to use the toilet if she likes to pee you know, in a receptacle.
that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. She's just like a little bitch, like, she's just bitchy, I mean, like, she's just like, "Alright, the water's done, I'll pee in this then,"
Oh
and
my
I
God.
guess they do that at the shelter sometimes because 'cause they're, like, get territorial, so
So
she's a
she meant to
shelter
pee
dog,
on
so
the water bowl, not like necessarily pee in it.
well, yeah, because the first time she peed
Yeah, so
next
that's
to
a
it.
territory.
Everyone's
She's
like,
so
"She's so cute." I'm like,
beautiful.
"Yeah, you deal with her barking when you don't get pet then. Come here, baby." She gets mad when
She's
I stop
so
petting her. She is very
beautiful.
pretty. She gets away with a lot
Yeah.
because she's so pretty. It's pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege.
My dog has pretty
Pretty
privilege.
privilege.
Hi, yeah.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to New York Sofalites. I am Rachel. I am here with Stephanie and Gretchen. This is the big one, guys. It's the Oscars. We
Yes.
have so much to get to, so we're going to get right into it. Should we start with the carpet?
Yay.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 So general
General
thoughts.
thoughts.
Well, I thought it was a pretty good one this year, honestly. When I opened up Instagram and the first image I saw early in the carpet, time frame was Selena Gomez, and she just looked stunning as always. And I just thought there was a lot of really interesting. I mean, I think the first thing I said to you guys was Ariana Grande's red carpet look was just like stunning, amazing. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And
Yeah.
then, I loved the whole like shoe thing and then how she transitioned that to her onstage look. But yeah, I thought the red carpet was like in general, I wasn't as disappointed as I've been in recent years. I'll say that.
Yes, I thought, especially Ariana Grande. I mean, she was definitely the showstopper of the red carpet with the Schiaparelli straight off the runway. Like we saw that on the Paris Haute Couture runway like 3 weeks ago, and she nailed it. It was giving
Hmm.
me vibes of like, do you remember um, when Lady Gaga, she like in the 2023 Oscars, like nobody thought she was coming, and she was like flew in
Oh,
especially
really?
for the Oscars. She had like the what was it? It was a Versace dress. It was like on the runway literally the day before. She like came in hot to sing that Top Gun Maverick
Yes.
song, and it was definitely Ariana Grande was definitely giving me those vibes.
Yeah, she looks stunning, and so did Cynthia. I thought her red carpet look was also just
So
stunning
beautiful. The
and
Louis Vuitton with the big
elegant
bow.
and
This was Stephanie
beautiful.
Core for sure.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. Wow. This is there. A lot of Stephanie Core stuff.
Yes, yes, I admit a lot of it was Stephanie Core,
Yes.
but
A lot of
what can I say?
gloves.
Yes.
Again, we know I'm not a fan of gloves, but you guys
Well,
are
you
into
like
the
them on
gloves.
people, you just don't want to wear them, right? So,
Well, I just see them I mean, I like little white gloves like Audrey Hepburn, I guess, but a lot of times when someone's wearing a pair of gloves, I'm like, "This would be better without the gloves." I don't know, it's just
Really?
me.
Because I just
Yeah.
feel like it when they're done in the right way, they can really finish. It's like a period at the end of a sentence. Like they can really finish the look and the thought in like a really,
Yeah.
really nice way. But they shouldn't be gratuitous. Maybe they're more like semicolons. Like they should be used
Yeah.
sparingly and with
so do you
intention.
think that we are pro or con? The two gloves looks that I'm thinking of specifically are the Zoe Saldana YSL dress had the like net
Mhm.
gloves, and then also Miley Cyrus had like a smaller, like a wrist glove with maybe like a ruffle.
Are those called opera
I
gloves,
think
the
the
short
opera
ones,
gloves
or
are
are
the
they the
long
long ones?
ones.
It's the
Okay,
long,
okay. That
yeah,
was my only
they're the long
question. All right,
ones.
Steph, go for it.
I was very pro Zoe Saldana's gloves. I thought they were probably one of my favorite parts of her look. that night. And then as far as the Miley ones, I didn't like love or hate them as much. I
Kind
just
of
yeah.
meh on the Miley.
Yeah, yeah, like
I
I
did
think
think that I
so.
don't know what was going on,
Yeah.
Gretch. Maybe you can speak to what the weather was like yesterday in LA. Was it like kind of cloudy?
Was it cloudy? No, I think it was fine. I mean, like where I was
Okay.
at least. My friend did drop her husband off at the red carpet, and she didn't mention anything weird
Okay, so
with
what
the
I'm
weather.
getting at is that it
Um,
felt like everybody who had like a black look, like Miley Cyrus and the black Alexander McQueen, and like everyone who had like a full black gown, it felt like it wasn't lit well, and like it was hard to see the details on the black looks specifically. And I didn't know if maybe like
yeah,
there was like a cloud
Um,
cover issue.
maybe.
that
Like,
would
because
make sense.
it's a different part of town. It's in Hollywood, which is a little bit north of me. Not that
Are there
far,
still fires?
but
Could it have been a smog?
I mean, there's always a risk of smog in LA, so that's very possible. Especially, you know what? There's a ton of traffic around there right now, I bet, so it could have been smoggy. Very
Okay.
possible. With all the red carpet traffic. So
So,
yeah.
note from us, light your red carpet better, or let's maybe give it a rest on the all black gowns on the
Yeah.
carpet.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
do say like people have problems with black just because they don't photograph as well, I guess sometimes. Or black velvet doesn't
Yeah.
photograph
I
as
think
well.
there
I
were a lot
forget
of
which
my
one it is.
least favorite looks that were black or black velvet or both. Thinking specifically of like Margaret Qualley in Chanel. She always looks so beautiful in Chanel, but normally she wears white, and today she wore black, and I did not think it was working.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think, very suited for Chanel. She's like a good Chanel spokeswoman. Like Margot Robbie is not Chanel colors. Like she's like a summer or a spring or whatever. She's a summer, right? It's warm. No, spring, I guess, is warm. And all of
Yeah.
the Chanel colors are always cool. So, but it works with Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, no, I mean, she
I'm
looked
glad she's
very
doing it.
beautiful, but it wasn't like really
Yeah.
popping for me. She's on my worst
Hmm.
dress
Yeah.
list.
Yeah. Yeah. We did see a lot
Oh
of
my God, the
brooches, which
brooches.
was fun.
Oh, the
Yeah.
brooches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can I just give a shout out to Elle Fanning's look?
Yes.
I mean, some might call it basic, but I thought it was really lovely and like old Hollywood in like a nice, I mean that in like a positive way. I thought it
It
just looked
looked
really
like
lovely
something that Margaret
on
Qualley would
her.
wear.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why I made the connection there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Givenchy had a
Yeah.
huge red carpet. We had Elle Fanning looking really
Mhm.
beautiful, and Timothy Chalamet in his yellow Givenchy. What did we think of Chalamet?
I mean, I love that he takes risks. I did read something funny that was like the Academy wasn't going to give an award to a guy in a yellow tuxedo. Um, but I like that he takes risks, you know. Maybe it
They're
wasn't
like, hold that on the
yeah, they're like,
red
listen, we're changing.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh wow, what that he nailed it, but
Yeah, you're right. I
yeah,
love a
it was
risk.
alright.
I loved the color. I
Yeah.
think that like butter yellow is kind of cool. I'm not sure about the black shoes. I don't know what shoe you would wear with it. Like, I
Yeah.
guess it has to be a black shoe. I
Yeah,
just am not
good
totally
point.
sure.
Yeah, like what kind of other shoe
Yeah.
would you wear? But
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I respect the risk taking. My main problem with the color was I don't think it really suited him. I don't think
yeah,
it
that's
was
the
good
thing.
for his
Yeah.
like skin
Is
tone,
he a
coloring,
summer?
whatever you want to call it. I don't know what he
I
is,
mean,
but he could
well,
be.
okay, was
But
that
anyway, I
I don't
just
know
don't think
either.
it was like the best color for him, but I respect the risk and I didn't
You know
hate
whose
the
look I
look.
absolutely hated was Jeff Goldblum, and I'm so disappointed. I thought that he looked like he was auditioning for the road company of the birdcage. I didn't get it. It was a brooch I could have done without
I
with that shirt. Like it was too many things. It was
Too much going on. Yeah, it was like very manic, I
yeah.
felt. Like I was like, okay,
He
like
had a
let's calm
tie
down.
and an ascot and the brooch.
Yeah, that was a lot. He's like, "Listen, I can get away with it. They'll still love me. I'm
It
just
was
gonna
like
do it."
borderline magician.
But it's a lot.
I'm sure he's not wrong,
Yeah, it
but
was kind of
yeah.
magician-y. The flowers. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
and speaking of looks that we hated, I usually really like what Lily Rose Depp wears, but I really hated her
I hated
dress
it
last
too.
night. I thought it looked very like prom and not in a good
I
way,
don't know
like
who would
very,
wear
I don't
that to
know.
prom.
Just like
That was like a
you didn't go to our high
no. Oh
school.
my God.
That would have, oh, 100% someone at my high school would have worn that to prom and it would not, I mean, she would made it look better, I'm sure, but it's not my cup of tea. I just didn't think it
No.
was like original or I thought she's beautiful. Like I just felt like she
I
could have done
just
better, but
we're
that's just
talking about
my
the black,
yeah, the black with
outfit.
like random sequined ruffles and like some parts weren't sequined.
yeah.
It just
It
didn't
was a
land for
black
me.
lace and it had like
Um
sequins on like the halter top. It had a sequin like lace
Yeah,
peplum and then another ruffle like at the
yeah.
knees and it was
yeah.
all see-through. It felt like something that
Mhm.
Kylie Jenner
Yeah.
would wear.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. And like
yeah,
Lily Rose Depp, like she can't really look bad. Like she's beautiful, but like I just
Yeah,
hated
it
that
was
yeah.
outfit. Yeah.
I think it's almost there, oddly enough. Like, I think there's like, if it just been simpler, it would have been okay. I have a hot take though. Well, I did not love Ariana Grande's dress on the red carpet as much as I loved her red red slipper dress on
Oh.
stage. I thought that was much better. Yeah, I'm not like I
Uh,
felt that dress was a little too like the red carpet dress was like a little too chandelier
Oh, it
for
was
me.
full
Like
chandelier.
the yeah,
And I don't
I
know
didn't
how
love
she
that.
was
It
I
was a
love a
little
good
sitting in the
chandelier.
seat in it. Like I didn't
I
know if she was going to be
know.
able to do
We were
it.
talking about that. Yeah. Yeah, we're like, does she need two seats? Like what's happening? Yeah.
I think
Um
that's why she changed
But
so
then she
quickly.
changed back. She
yeah.
sat in the audience in the chandelier dress
Yeah.
Oh, she did? I
But then
didn't
she
see
changed
that.
something black, I think, right?
for
Later
the
on.
like Vanity Fair party. I think she changed again.
Okay. Okay. 'Cause I thought I saw her sitting in black, but I could be
Oh, I
hallucinating,
don't know.
so who
Maybe
knows?
it just got too tight in that seat and she had to change.
Yeah. She's like, I got changed
Because she was
early.
sitting next to Cynthia Erivo, who also had a very large dress. And it was,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
just a lot of, and I think that Cynthia Erivo's partner wore pants. So maybe she was able to like buffer the very
Mm.
large dresses.
Yeah, she took over all of
She's like, you can have some of my seat because
the
I wore
extra
pants.
clowns. Yes. Yes. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what were you gonna say, Stephanie?
Well, yeah, I mean, just going back to that, I loved her red carpet look, but I did love the red ruby slipper look as well. And Cynthia Erivo's white the wedding dress that was adorned in flowers
Hmm.
for their duet was also just it was just
So
beautiful. Like
beautiful.
seeing
Also,
them
Schiaparelli, I believe.
seeing them on stage. Oh, yeah, I was just like, oh, like chef's kiss, they both looked amazing up
Yeah.
there. Going back to the brooches, Adrian Brody's brooch. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm enjoying like seeing guys have a little more fun with fashion. Like, the brooches, even if we didn't like the Jeff Goldblum look, like at least he's doing something that's not just like a black tux, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate the effort.
We're seeing a lot more fun stuff from the guys, which I like. Like the brown tux from Andrew.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I
Garfield.
kept wanting to say Goldblum. I'm like, no, it's not Goldblum. I actually liked it. I liked the
No, oh,
brown
I
tux.
hate a
Uh,
brown
I
tux.
did too.
No, I
I
thought it
liked
was
it on
cute.
him.
I
I
thought you
liked it
pulled it
on
off.
him.
because
He
he's
Yeah,
pulled it
hot and
off.
yeah,
he looks good in
yeah.
clothes.
I
Lily
guess,
Rose Depp is hot. I didn't love her dress, but I love the brown tux on Andrew Garfield. Somehow it just like
It did
really
not work
worked.
for me.
yeah, I don't know.
Could
I
be a
liked it.
personal preference. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and then he put his little
Oh
glasses on
God.
and I was
God
like,
love him.
You're like, oh,
what
okay.
is happening?
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
yeah, I thought it was pretty cute. I did not mind it. It was a little bit like obviously it was more casual. He wasn't wearing a tie. Like if it had been anything more than what it was, like because he has like, and it's all monochrome. He has a necklace. He has a watch. I don't know about the necklace, but it. I think it works. I don't know.
I thought it worked.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
thought it
yeah,
worked.
I'm overruled.
I usually hate a brown tux. I
yeah.
usually hate a brown tux. I'm like,
I don't hate brown tuxes as a rule, but I didn't like this one on him. There's something about like the parts of it were shiny, like the lapel was shiny, and then parts of it were matte, and
Mm,
I don't know. Anyway, um, some other looks that we liked. Speaking of Andrew Garfield, who has been rumored to possibly be dating Monica Barbaro, I thought that she looked
mm,
spectacular in Dior. The big
yeah.
pink skirt that was
yeah,
really working for me. I thought it was so cute.
Hmm.
She is so beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful.
That was really cute. I think it suited her really well. It was a good like first Oscars dress too. It wasn't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just.
and then twinning kind of with Mikey Madison and her pink satin Dior, and it was like
Yeah.
a little pink satin Dior
Yeah.
moment. I feel like at this Oscars,
Yeah.
Dior was
Yeah.
doing what Chanel is normally doing at the Oscars. Like they're giving us
Mm,
kind of
yeah.
like classic, refined, sophisticated with a bow on it.
Yes. Yes. I
They did
agree.
a great job.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry to belabor, whatever, this point, but Jeremy Strong, was his
No,
tux
it was
brown
like
No,
it
it's
or
was
was it
orangey.
olive?
pistachio.
Yeah.
Okay, like I have not been able to decide. Like I keep looking at pictures of him and I'm like, is it brown? Is it green? Like
Well,
what
his
is
theme
happening? I
is
mean, I actually
green.
think it looked really nice on it.
So he's been wearing green
Okay.
all season,
Okay.
and I feel like sometimes it's
Okay.
fine and sometimes we hate it. Like when he had the Kangol hat on, that was so weird at the Golden Globes. But this, I'm gonna zag. I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I don't know what's going on with like the bow tie area. Like it's not quite a bow
I know. What do you
tie,
call it? It's
but
like a flat, like
Yeah.
satin tie, like a cross
I
between a
don't
bolo
know.
tie and a bow tie. I liked it.
it looks like a second collar. Like I don't even know what that's
You know what?
called.
I'm gonna disagree. I didn't love it. I think somehow the tailoring looks off to me. And the color really like accentuates the wrinkles and the pants and stuff.
Now, everybody's pants, I will say that the men were wearing those inseams very long, and there was a lot of like puddle at the shoe
Ah,
happening, and that
yes.
was, I think, a choice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
you're probably
Kendrick really
right.
started a trend back in January, or was it February? Whenever the Super Bowl was. I clearly don't know, but
Yeah,
I feel
January
like
or
he really
February.
kicked it
And
off.
then,
And this is not the last we've seen of men in
no,
bootcut
Downey in the boot cut
pants.
tuxedo, I loved it. That was like a strong boot cut.
He
Yeah.
looked great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they both
like
looked great.
Oh
His
my
wife
God,
looked
so
great. Yeah.
gorgeous.
that was a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pointed that out to my husband. I was like, "Look at his bootcut tux," and he was just like, "Oh, yeah."
It was
Yeah.
Gucci. I feel like Pratik would be
He
into
was
it.
so uninterested.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
know.
He was actually like we watched the runway and like we or the red carpet and we watched a lot of it together. He was into it, but like he didn't have much of a take on the bootcut
Hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. look. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe because I just browbeat him into getting like a classic tux, and
Oh,
he's
and he's
probably like,
jealous.
I could have worn that to my wedding. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to wear something different, right? He was like, he wanted to stand
Well,
out
he
too.
was really mad that for the Western ceremony that I got to wear white and bridesmaids had to wear a different color, but then the groomsmen could all be in the same color. He just thought that was really
Oh.
unfair. It didn't take much convincing.
Anyway, um,
Yeah, I do want to mention I was surprised by all the silver I saw. A ton of silver,
yes. And like
ton of like mirror look.
rhinestones, like very
Yeah, Demi
sparkly.
Moore,
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, I loved Demi Moore's outfit. I thought it
So
was
She looked
beautiful.
so
so
good.
In
stunning.
Yeah.
Armani, so
Yeah, she looked
beautiful.
so amazing.
Yeah. I think one that I was
Um,
disappointed by was Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
That looked so
I
weirdly like
didn't see
90s. It was
that.
It
so
was like a
weird. I didn't
black like dress, and then it had this like rhinestone like collar, like a halter almost
Yeah, and it
Oh.
rhinestone
was
like
like
collar.
it felt dated but not like it felt very 90s but not in a classic way because a lot of stuff in the 90s ends up feeling very classic, which is
Hmm.
nice, but this did not feel like that.
Yeah.
It looked like something you would have bought like at
Hmm.
Boscov's in like 98.
That's
It
how
was
I felt
weird.
about Lily Rose Depp's dress. Sorry, I just can't stop thinking about how much I didn't like it. Speaking of nice black dresses, though, Amy Poehler looked
Totally
stunning.
classic.
Just
Oh my God, she's such
classic.
a pro.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't just count the power of just a classic.
yeah.
Beautiful black
Other
dress.
misses, and I hate to say it, Bo and Yang, huge swing and a huge
Yeah, I
miss.
know. I didn't love it. I know.
I always want to
I
love
was sad
everything
about
he
them.
wears because, talk about
Yeah.
somebody who like likes to have fun with fashion. This was not it for me. This was not an
Yeah.
Oscars look. It wasn't a tuxedo. It wasn't formal
Mm.
enough, weirdly, I thought.
I don't know who that is.
He's an actor.
He
He
was
was on
in
SNL. He
Wicked.
was the
iceberg.
iceberg on SNL.
He was
Oh, he was
Mudang
Moody.
as Chapel Roan.
Oh.
He was the iceberg. Yeah, yeah, and Mudang as Chapel Road. Yeah,
Oh. I
yeah,
didn't see his look, so I'll
yeah.
recuse
It was
myself
kind of
from
like a leather
this.
You can find
jacket
it.
kind of look to it, and then it had like
And it had like
embroidery, kind of
embroidery,
like
right?
very bright, like Mexican looking embroidery. I don't know. It was by Etro, and I
Oh.
think I
Oh,
would have liked it in a different circumstance. It also was a little oversized on him, I
hmm
thought.
yeah. And then he has this pink blouse underneath it, which did not coordinate. I didn't love
Sorry.
it.
I'm just
Yeah.
laughing because of the way you said pink
Like it was a
blouse. Like it
there was
was
a
just
ruffle.
so not
Yeah,
needed.
yeah. It was a blouse. It wasn't a shirt.
Which, like, no judgment there
I
at all. Like, I am pro a
no,
blouse on a
yeah,
man, but I was not pro this blouse on
for
this man at
sure.
this time.
No, no,
Totally.
yeah. I was not
Just make
into
it
it.
good. Just
Yeah.
make it good.
If you're gonna, yeah, it was a swing and a miss. Whereas Timothée Chalamet was a swing and like, okay, like
Yeah,
I'll
it was
take
like a
it. This was
double.
more
It
of like
was
a swing
fine.
and a miss. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a sports metaphor in there that I
For the
won't be
gents.
able to get, but
Speaking about a swing and a home run, though, Coleman Domingo, as ever
Oh,
and
yeah.
always,
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah,
knocks
he's
it
so
out of the park
amazing.
every
Yeah.
time. Never
yeah.
wears like a classic traditional suit or tuxedo jacket, which I love, and always looks incredible.
Mm, yes, I
Yeah,
agree. Totally agree.
looked stunning.
Trying to think of who else. You know what? I hate to say it because I love Zoe Saldana. I did not like this
It
dress on
looked like
her,
a whole
and it
bunch
did
of
not.
curtains.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
did not
didn't
like
love,
it.
that's why I said the gloves were probably my favorite part.
Yeah,
And like that, I don't mean that, not trying to be mean. I just, I really liked the gloves. I just didn't like the dress.
yeah. It was a weird dress. It felt like
Mm.
it was shapeless. It was kind of sad. I didn't love it. Yeah,
Yeah, just like it didn't feel like her somehow to
yeah.
me. Like,
Like she has like
yeah,
a
like
lot
it
of
wasn't her
strength and like
essence. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
she's more celebratory, I feel
Yeah,
like.
and it wasn't her color. It was,
No,
yeah,
yeah, again, wrong color, wrong
yeah.
color.
It's not my favorite. to wrap up the runway, other looks that we loved, honestly, she ended up on a lot of the worst dressed lists, but I loved Whoopi Goldberg's look.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh dang, she's wearing a dress. It looks like
I
liquid. I
love
love
a wet
it. I
look.
was into it. Yeah.
I
Oh,
liked it
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't see how that just gets plopped on a worst dress like
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
list
no, it was
immediately. Like, come
beautiful.
This
on.
yeah, the
The
styling
styling
was
was
weird.
weird. The hair was something I have not seen from her.
Yes, yeah, I know. And I didn't know she had a tattoo. Very
Yeah. I
interesting.
will say about the dress though, the
Yeah,
hem
because we
was
never
not totally right. It was like,
yeah.
Yeah, there was something a little bit off about
yeah, it
it
needed to
to
either be
me.
higher
Mm.
or lower. Like it wasn't quite sweeping the floor, but it wasn't quite showing the shoe. It was kind of like we're doing this
Mm.
because you're 80 and we don't want you
Yeah.
to trip. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
Is
I
she 80? Oh my God,
no,
she
I'm
totally
no,
looks
sorry. I'm
80
sorry,
right?
she's
Whoopi. I
probably
let's
she was like
So-
no, Rachel. She's probably like 70, I'm guessing, maybe 65, 70. I don't know. Um, but
She was born in
I hate to say it too,
1955.
because
What
I
is that?
oh, she's a year younger than her mom. But
70,
Okay. I'm
70.
yeah,
so
She
sorry.
looks
She looks
amazing.
incredible.
Oh my
I know.
God. Who would put her on a worst dress list? I think she looks
Yeah,
stunning.
Yeah, she looked like a Viking with that
um,
hair. It was incredible.
yeah, yeah. I think totally. I liked it. It was a different look for her. I really liked it. I
Yeah.
thought Mikey Madison looked very beautiful. I thought she was aged up a little bit. Um, I would have liked to have seen something a little bit like fresher on
I
her,
thought
I
she looked
think.
really
Um,
sophisticated, but maybe it was reading a little bit
yeah.
older than she. How old is she?
She's like
Okay. All
25.
right. So,
Yeah. I thought it was, I mean, yes, it was like a girly dress. It has the pink, it has the bow. I just felt like it could have been like a little bit fresher,
but I
in
do
my
feel like it
opinion.
was giving ingenue, and then when she won, that really
Yeah,
worked.
for sure. Yes, that's true. It
Yeah.
did really work on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it though.
I wasn't sure how I felt about Halle
Mm,
Berry's dress, but I loved the way she looked. Like she looked beautiful. The styling was great. Her hair looked great, in my
yes.
opinion.
She is a
Yeah.
vampire. Like, she has not aged a single day.
I
She walked
know.
right off the set of Baps and onto this red carpet. It's insane.
I
And then
know.
Yeah,
she
I
kissed
know.
Adrian Brody, and it was so good.
That was so funny.
Oh,
I
I
loved
Yeah,
loved
that.
that
it.
Yeah,
was good.
I loved that.
But
I
That
honestly,
was
know.
it made me
good.
They're
think again
fun.
about how, like, Adrian Brody is like a wild individual, and like, he really
It's
is just this
crazy.
side of toxic. And I feel like we gotta watch him. I don't want to say it because I love that guy, but we gotta watch Brody. He's kissing Oscars presenters. He's putting on dreadlock wigs. Like, just somebody keep an eye on Brody.
He needs like a really good handler, like that handles him like Gretchen
You mean
handles
someone
Lilac,
who will
just like
catch his gum in their hands as he tosses it to them on his way up to make his
Yeah, was that
acceptance
dumb?
speech?
I know. Yeah, that's what I was like. Is he
that's
should,
I,
yeah.
fucking
For fucking
disgusting.
poor, I mean, poor Georgina Chapman.
honestly, hasn't she been through enough? She seems so game though, so
Wait,
supportive.
back up. Like, she caught
And
it, or is she
she was
with
ready
him?
to catch it. She was like, "Yeah, I got you, babe," and like caught it, and seamless. Absolutely, it was like, I don't know if it was gum.
Wait, so Georgina Chapman is
Yes,
dating
we have to. We're
him?
gonna do a deep dive on Georgina Chapman at some point
Yeah.
on this podcast because she is
Okay,
fascinating.
that's a flag. That's a flag for Adrian Brody's character. But like,
Yeah.
good for him. She's beautiful and
Beautiful,
yeah,
powerful, talented,
interesting.
but like, we need to go deeper on Georgina.
Clearly, she has a
Yes.
type.
I'm worried about that whole thing. I'm a little worried about it. We don't know how much she
We don't
knew.
know. Anyway,
She probably she's probably a
yeah,
victim
we're
anyway.
not
Let's
going to
not
talk
get into
about
this.
it
But
now.
Anyway,
yeah.
Paul Tazwell, is that how you say his last name? The costume designer for
Yes.
Wicked. I just loved his Dolce& and Gabbana, tux and the brooch
That was
and
a
oh
good
my
brooch.
god, flawless. He looked amazing. Like, that was probably my favorite male, like, menswear look of the night. I mean, not surprising because he did win the Oscar for best costume design or whatever, but I mean, he really nailed it, so way to
Yes.
go.
Excellent. Is there anyone else?
I actually said to Pratik, I was like, "Too bad you didn't see this before we got married, because he probably would have rocked a brooch or something,
Oh,
like,
Oh
to
my
set
god.
himself apart from the groomsmen."
yeah.
But, ugh, wedding's
It's
over. Oh, well.
fine.
Too bad, so sad.
So sad.
Anything else
Well,
that we
okay,
loved
so
or hated on the carpet?
um I you know what? I love Penelope Cruz. Did not like
Mm,
her dress,
yeah.
unfortunately. I thought the drop waist was not flattering.
The
I
only
don't know.
time I've ever really seen a drop waist that I like has been when Rachel wears I'm, like, not even kidding, like, I've
I
seen
love
you
a
wear
drop
them,
waist.
like, they look
I
really
have
good
a
on
dress.
you,
Gretchen would hate this dress because it's a drop waist and a bubble hem, and I love it.
Well, see, I don't have a problem with it. Like some people really pull it off. I just don't. I just feel like
I just don't have the shape for it, like, you either have it or you don't, and, like, Rachel has it, I don't, it's fine,
yeah, there's
like
like a certain shape that works very well for her. But no, yeah, Penelope Cruz, like I think she's beautiful. It just like the dress, it felt kind of like Mother of the Bridey, even though it was white. Yeah. I didn't love
Some
it.
mothers of the bride do that, and then
Yeah,
there's
I
all this,
know.
like,
Yeah.
drama on
Like if
Reddit
it
and
was in like a
stuff.
pale blue, it would have felt like very Mother of
Yeah,
the Bride to
another
me.
miss
But,
for
you know,
Chanel. I just have to say, Gretchen, you called it. Like,
yeah.
Chanel is fucking
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I was thinking about all like their great looks in like the 90s and early 2000s and like something's up right now. They're not hitting it out of the
No,
park lately. I don't know.
I don't know, I think, like, the anti-Semitic, like, history
Hmm.
is, like, coming back
it's
to haunt
karma.
them,
Yeah.
and they're just not
Hmm.
yeah, they're just, like, not vibing, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm too tired, but it's not working.
Well, and I mean, we can go in this later, but Karl Lagerfeld was a questionable character, and I know he didn't start Chanel, but he ran it for a long time, did a good job with the clothing. But yeah, it's
I'm
just
thinking
like
more Coco
I
Chanel's, like,
know, I
issue.
know, but
I'm
I will.
thinking more I'm going, like, way
Oh,
back
for sure.
to
But he was also problematic. Like they
yeah,
haven't
he
He
was.
they
didn't
didn't
like
really
the
like
fatties.
yeah, I
No, he did
know.
not.
Yeah.
Well, he
But
died, so
He
poor
did. Well,
yeah.
guy.
honestly, like, what an
Well,
interesting
he died.
character. But anyway,
Fascinating character. I was just saying, like, he's not at the helm anymore, so
Yeah. But
who
I will
knows?
say I did love this is this is not related to Chanel, but Ana de Armas, she had that weird dress. I think it was Louis Vuitton. I don't know who did her Vanity Fair Oscars party dress, but I loved that. That
oh, I
was
didn't
like
see it.
a two-piece um white dress. I thought that was great. I have no
I
idea
mean,
who did
she's
that.
so beautiful. Like, it is
I know.
ridiculous to
Yeah,
say
she
that she would
doesn't
look
look
bad in
real
anything,
she
but
never
yeah.
looks bad.
Yeah, I know. But she might be a Louis Vuitton
Oh, ambassador.
ambassador, so it might have been yeah, so it might have been more.
Oh,
Another Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton that
Um
I was
yeah.
actually kind of underwhelmed by was Emma Stone. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it was just kind of, it was fine.
I wasn't completely on board with that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I,
And I think Connie Nielsen, the Gladiator actress, she was there.
oh,
And I love, like, a turquoise jewelry. I don't even know if it was, like, literal turquoise, but, like, it was a color turquoise, like, necklace with a beautiful pink dress, and I just really love that color
I love that color
combination.
combination. She looks
but
And
yeah.
it really
great.
was stunning. Yeah. She's almost 60. I just Googled her
Wow.
and she looks stunning.
Incredible stuff. she was wearing Elie
Yeah.
Saab. So very
Mm.
beautiful and
Ellie
honestly
Saab,
a very
okay. All right.
appropriate dress for somebody in their 60s. It was beautiful, it was
Yeah.
feminine, it was stylish, it was very lovely.
Yeah, this is, like,
Yeah.
kind of how chiffon should be done rather than the Penelope Cruz way where it
Mhm.
was more, like, a little bit cut up, like, this is better draping, I think.
I love seeing movement
Yeah,
in a silk
yeah,
chiffon. Like
yeah.
that's what it's meant
That's what it's
for.
supposed to do, yeah.
So, walking the
Yeah.
Um,
carpet not with Sebastian Stan was Annabelle Wallis in Elie Saab in kind of like an
oh.
underwhelming, like, blue number that I didn't really care for. But I feel like she heard us bullying her about her Barbie dress at the Golden Globes and she adjusted accordingly. And I,
Oh.
you know, it's neither here nor
Yeah,
there, but
much more
there she is
understated.
in this kind of like blah dress.
It's also better s well, it's also better like, the color is better suited for her or something, like, she looks like a different person in it, but
Yeah,
it is
I
very
don't like
blah.
this
It's
color.
that's lit well, yeah, but this is literally what someone wore to, like, homecoming as homecoming queen in my
Yes,
high school,
absolutely.
so,
It's not
literally. Yeah.
it's not giving me anything
Yeah.
really in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. It's not doing much, but alright, should we jump into this
Yeah, let's
yeah,
jump into the
ceremony?
ceremony. So
Yeah.
yeah, the host, first time Oscar host, Conan O'Brien. How do we think Conan did?
I thought he did pretty
I
good.
liked
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like I didn't think it was as much of like a home run as Nikki Glazer perhaps,
Yeah,
but I I thought he did pretty good. I like Conan in general, so
I thought his monologue was
yeah.
pretty funny. I
Yeah.
liked the jokes that he made about Carla Sofia Gascon and then the reaction shot of her having to
Yeah.
ask someone to translate them.
Oh no, I didn't realize that was happening. Oh, that makes sense. Did
Yeah.
she laugh after it was
They didn't
translated?
like linger on her. The
It
jokes were
didn't
not that bad.
show.
It was
Okay,
like
okay.
a joke about,
Okay.
he was like, and if you want to tweet about me, my name is Jimmy Kimmel. And then
That
Yeah, I
sounds about
he
remember
said
right.
something
that.
about
Yeah.
like they said the word fuck like 400 times in Honora, which is just under the amount of times that Carla Sofia's publicist has said fuck this year.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, but,
Honestly,
um,
I was kind yeah, like I don't think anything was too nasty coming out of his mouth,
No, but also
so
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
unmemorable. You're right. It wasn't like
yeah.
hilarious, but he's such a pro, like,
He is a pro. He's been
Uh,
around for so long, and he does everything
I was
right.
watching like his like movement, like just maybe as a like former dancer, I just noticed these things. But just it's refreshing to see someone with like genuine stage presence and like genuinely comfortable in that environment, just,
yeah, seems like an insider, does
performing.
not
So
Yeah.
seem uncomfortable around, other celebrities. Seems like he's very much part of
Mhm.
this world. I mean,
yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel is too, but I think Conan maybe having the benefit of age, like even more so, like you know, he's been here, but like Adrian Brody, he's been here before.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, Adrian I rolled my eyes a little bit. I was like, "Okay, dude, are you really, like, calling out
Oh
that you've
my
done this
God.
before just to get
But
more
we'll
time?"
get to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything else on the production that we want to talk about? I thought that the performances, I'm glad they decided to have performances, and I'm honestly kind of glad that they were not performances of the best song nominees because I
Mhm.
think that people,
Oh, does that I feel like that gets so
it's
tedious.
tedious.
Like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I was wondering why they did the, Bond song tribute, but I
Yeah, that
guess
did kind of lose
Bezos
me,
just
but
bought the Bond franchise, so I think it was like an RIP. I thought Margaret Qualley did pretty good.
oh
She's
yeah, she
yeah,
was
yeah,
trained as a ballet dancer and just
yeah,
she's a beautiful dancer. I was like,
yeah.
I
She
was
is a
yeah.
beautiful dancer. I didn't get why we were doing this
Yeah,
number.
I know. I was like, why are we doing this? I was like, also like, shouldn't there be more people? Like, I don't know. I was like, just Margaret Qualley? Like, is this like a prize for not winning something? I
It
don't know.
felt a little
Um,
weird.
Yeah, I didn't
It
get
felt
the
like,
point.
Yeah, it was a little
people
weird.
liked the substance, but Margaret Qualley is not why. And so, like,
No. No, and like
Yeah.
she's fine. Like we all like her. She's done good work, but no one's like, yes, Margaret Qualley needs to be up there. I don't know.
We need you
It wasn't like
dancing. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling,
no.
level like last year. But
Yeah,
um
I kind of got lost during that
yeah.
whole interlude, but
Yeah.
you know
But
what? On the bright side, none of it was like too long. Like I felt like there was that medley, but it didn't make me like want to completely rip my eyes out because it like they kept it moving.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
kept
the
it
whole
I
moving.
thought the
show.
opening number was quite nice too. Yeah, they
Yeah,
did. You're right. Yeah. They were actually
yeah.
running late the whole time, I know, because um
Gretchen's like, I know, because I know someone that was there. Um,
well, no, because I do, but so one of my friends is married to one of the firemen that was on the stage, and it was really funny because I was like, well, how did he get picked? Like, they must love him, and she's like, yeah, they all had to like submit headshots,
So LA.
and it was funny because one of our other friends was like, yeah, let's like make sure there's some women in there, make sure a couple are hot, like,
Oh
like
my God.
that's
yeah,
like what it looked
So
like.
Hollywood.
Because when he got there, yeah, because
yeah.
he's half Japanese, and so when he got there, he's like, "Oh, we were chosen so that we are a colorful array." Basically, is what he said. um,
uh,
but and like my friend who's married to him was like, "Yeah, I think because he's ethnically ambiguous enough, for like he might fit whoever we need to fit." Like, yeah, so
well, that's exciting. I'm happy
yeah,
he got that. That's a fun opportunity. And he's a
no, it was really
firefighter,
cool.
right? So
Yeah, and he
he
was
went
like,
up when they
yeah.
were, acknowledging the hard work that
Yeah,
the
and he said he was only like
firefighters have
one
done.
of a couple who actually like were in the fires because most of them were chiefs. But
Mm.
he actually did fight the fires. So yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
Most of them
but
were chiefs. Oh my God.
yeah,
So they had mostly people on that stage that they were honoring for fighting these crazy LA fires that were not actually fighting the fires, but were telling
yeah, they're
people to go
directing people. Yeah,
fight the
like
fires.
that's part of the
I
Okay.
think
job.
being a
But
fire
like
chief
the
Well, I
is
woman,
know,
important.
but
I think you need
yeah,
the chiefs.
but yes, they were not in
no,
direct
no shade
danger.
to a fire chief. I
No
mean,
shade to
none at
fire
all.
chiefs in
No
California.
shade to fire chiefs. I'm just saying, like, let's also like focus on the people putting in the work.
Yeah, the
Like,
people who are actually like putting their
even
lives in
Conan
danger.
mentioned,
Yeah.
the light designers and the costume stitchers and the
Well,
assistants
there were a couple
and
guys who were there who actually
There were
fought
like
in the
20
fires and
firefighters
were
on that
under.
stage. So like I feel like they got a good mix.
Yeah, she said it was like at least two were actually, but
At least
I think
10%.
as the
Okay.
chiefs could like just chiefs could put their names in and like fast track themselves, so like that's fine.
Seniority. There has to be some
But
perk to
yeah,
being the fire chief.
yeah,
You get to stand next
yeah,
to and be absolutely dwarfed by Conan O'Brien on the Oscars.
Perk. It sounds like they don't
yeah.
even have to go out and fight the fires. Don't come for me, fire chiefs. I don't know what you
Stephanie,
actually
why are you
do.
choosing this battle? There's so many battles.
Such a
Why are you
weird
choosing
hill
the
to die
fire
on.
chief in California? Right.
Why are there
Well,
only fire chiefs on stage at the Oscars? I just don't get
I
it.
guess they gave them a lot of alcohol, like, and Joey had not eaten all day, and his wife at home was like, "He has to better fucking eat something." Like while she was like sitting at home.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, my first thought when I saw him was that he looked like not like drunk, but I was
No,
like
he's red faced. Yeah,
he's like so like he's either just like so excited to be there or he's like also
Maybe
drunk.
both.
yeah. Like my friend
But
was like,
like
no, I think it was both because my friend at home was like, "Oh, he looks so red." She's like, "He needs to eat something." But then
oh
she's like, "Yeah, he was asking me if he should smile or not." And she's like, "Yeah, look happy to be there."
Yeah,
Clearly.
smile. I mean, I don't know how you would be able to help it.
I know. I think he was just
yeah,
smiling.
like
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
be weird if you weren't.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, he was supposed
Especially
to be on at 6 and he went on like 6:20, so
Oh,
I know
they
they were
were
running
so
20
late.
minutes
But I
late.
really
so late.
felt they did move things along like
Yeah.
pretty nicely because some Oscars it just goes on for so long. I'm like, oh my God, like I'll just I'll do it in the morning. I'll just read what happened. But I enjoyed the show. I appreciated the alacrity of everything.
Moving into the awards section. So I
Okay.
organized this by film, just kind of like as these things came up, and we'll try to do the, I don't know, the more important and more heavily awarded films last. But first and foremost, we got to shout out Wicked. I didn't think Wicked was going to take home any awards, and I was so
Yeah.
happy to see they won for Best Production Design and Best Costume Design, which I think is exactly right for this film.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally. I think that's correct.
Very
Yeah.
The
happy for
production
them.
design was
Um,
it was so beautiful. They had that like Busby Berkeley number with the One Short Day, and like, oh my God, like
mhm.
this is
Oh
how you make a
yeah,
musical
yeah.
on a soundstage. Like you light it the
Yeah.
fuck up with as many lights as possible. You put that camera on a dolly and you have people ducking out of the way, and like you like whatever the opposite of Amelia Perez is, that's what you do when you make a musical on a
Yeah.
soundstage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
true.
great.
You're very correct. Yeah. And the costumes were so spot on, and they had this whole character arc to them. They were great. Like, I love the
Yes, the
costumes.
Glinda
They're
costumes
beautiful.
in particular, I thought it was
Yeah.
so like
Mhm.
nuanced that like, she wasn't just wearing pink the entire time. She had so many costumes and they were all
Yes.
giving Glinda, but it wasn't just like bubblegum pink the entire time, and it was so good.
Mhm.
Um,
That was
and
perfect.
then
Yeah.
So
obviously
good.
like I don't know
Yeah.
what is going on right now with Tom Brown, if he's like doing Wicked or if Wicked was doing Tom Brown, and then Dochi was doing Wicked, doing Tom Brown, and then they were doing it in the Ease on Down the Road number. And but like whatever it is, it's working for me. I love those like prep school outfits. I'm so
Yeah.
into it.
I know. I was like, what is it? And I was like, so this is Wiz, but it looks like they're Wicked.
I think
But I
that
guess
was
that
on
makes sense. But
purpose.
yeah, I was,
But yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was probably on purpose. Yeah.
The
Um,
Wiz callback.
yeah. For that Queen
Hmm.
Latifah did.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I loved it. I heard that
Um,
opening chord and
Love
I was
it.
like,
Love
we're
it.
gonna ease on down the road. And Emmanuel was like, what?
He's like, where are we going? That's funny. Yeah. I loved that too. It was great. I thought the musical numbers were generally wonderful. They could have cut the Bond one, but that's all right. It was
Yeah, it
still
was fine
okay.
because it's
It
like a
was still
song
fine.
that people like
That's
and it's
yeah.
musicians that people like and they looked
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Doja Cat looked
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, familiar songs. I know
Yeah.
she looked
That dress. Yeah.
amazing.
And then Lisa
Yeah.
was there, Lisa from Blackpink and White Lotus. Yeah. Yeah.
They all
She's
looked
branching out.
amazing.
Yeah. I didn't know she was going so solo real
Everyone is
hard.
solo
But yeah.
now. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, we'll talk
Mm.
about music, pop
Okay.
music later.
We'll talk about Blackpink later.
Right now, we got to talk about the substance. Only one award for hair and makeup styling, which seems obvious.
Uh, yeah,
I
does
mean,
seem
they
right.
deserved it for sure, but I would have liked to see more
Yeah, I
for
would.
them.
I can't really talk, but I just thought this original screenplay for that would have won, like for the substance. I mean, rather than like I didn't see Honora, so I can't compare. But Rachel
We'll
McAdams.
talk
Yeah.
about
I
it.
know, I thought yeah, so good. So
Yeah, I
good.
mean, it's interesting that a horror movie is considered at all in the Oscar race, which I guess is good. It
Yeah,
feels very
cool.
fresh and it feels like, new Oscars, which I really appreciate. I think, the hair and makeup styling, obviously,
Yes.
this movie had the most hair and makeup styling out of all of the
Hmm.
movies. But also, it's a horror movie and it was really like gory and gross and gritty. And normally this award goes to like a historical period piece. So I think that this is cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But yeah,
That's a good
sad only one
point.
Oscar for the substance.
Yeah, but we made some progress. The cool horror movie
Mhm.
one,
So
reached
maybe
this far.
this opens the door for
Yeah.
more horror in the Oscars in future because we had two horror nominees in Nosferatu and The Substance. So
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I would have
Yeah.
liked Nosferatu to have won for cinematography, but it's okay.
uh, first,
Rachel's like it. I
Well,
disagree.
maybe. But first,
Wait, who did one?
oh,
Who
the Brutalist
Let's
did.
go ahead. Yes, go
Um,
ahead.
but yeah, so
Oh,
first we'll
yeah, of
cover kind
course.
of like
Yeah.
the little awarded films, and then we'll get into the big winners. Dune Part 2, Best Sound and Best Visual Effects. Again, these seem like make good awards. I feel like everybody was like, we know that there's going to be a Dune 2, so we'll save it, not knowing what else was going to come out in the year that Dune 2 came out. And then Dune
Yeah.
2 came out so early in the year that I honestly think that everybody forgot about it.
I did.
So,
Are they gonna
Ellie,
do that
I
with
did.
the second Bob Dylan
Bob
biopic
Dylan Part 2.
or what? Yeah, a
Is there a
complete
part two coming?
unknown no longer. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Because a complete unknown got
Completely shut
completely
out.
got completely snubbed.
oh yeah, there was nothing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it was hilarious, but well, let's keep going. You have organization. I was gonna keep just talking about
But
my own
yeah, we
stuff, but
will
yes.
get a chance to talk about snubs. I'm trying to be Conan and get through everything in a timely fashion.
All right, all right. We'll let you be Conan and just like spearhead this.
So moving on to the best adapted screenplay, which was Conclave. Did you guys see Conclave?
Not yet. I want to. It is streaming on like Peacock or something. So I
It's
want
on
to.
Hulu. Yeah,
Or it's
I
on
think that's
Hulu.
one of
Okay.
the two.
So okay, question. So adapted screenplay. Does that mean this is? I know I could Google this, but can one of you help me understand? Does that mean adapted from a book or a play or
From anything.
like what does it mean? From
Any
anything?
of the above, yeah. It could
Okay.
be musical, it could be a TV show adapted, it could be anything. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what was it adapted
I think it
from?
was adapted from a book. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say, I'm pretty sure.
and it was
Yeah.
quite
Okay.
good. It was really, really fun. Like more fun than you would think like a movie about a bunch of
It
cardinals. It
was
was
fun?
really fun.
Sorry. I'm just really surprised to hear that come out
Oh,
of
it
your
was
mouth.
absolutely fun.
Talking
It
about
was
Conclave. It was fun.
yeah, no, because it was
Okay.
like
Because I've kind of avoided it because I thought it wouldn't be fun at all. Like I thought it'd be kind of really
no,
dark.
it was
Like,
it wasn't dark, I
okay.
wouldn't say. There was like intrigue, but it was like the intrigue was stupid in the end, kind of. Like it was like there are these cardinals.
Oh.
I think when Conan was talking about it in the monologue, like he got it exactly right. He was like, "We're making a movie about the Catholic Church, but don't worry," and that's exactly
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was like,
That's
but don't
funny.
worry,
It was
really?
like there were some
Okay.
scandals like noted in the like you know the plot of the conclave thing. Like people like, oh well, you probably can't be the pope because you have a scandal in your past, and the scandal was like, you had an affair with someone when you were young or something like that. So like there wasn't anything like
Mm.
Oh, like no one got sent to like cell block one with Drake or
no, there was
anything
none
like
of
that.
that, but it was like very
Got it.
propulsive. It was like
Gretchen's looking at me
Well,
like,
I don't
what?
know what that reference is. I'm trying to
it
put
was
it
like an
together.
A minor
Kendrick
reference.
Lamar's song, the A minor. He's like, hope you
Oh.
never get cell block one, blah
Oh.
blah. Yeah.
No, we
Yeah,
can't.
okay.
I don't want us to jump on the
Okay,
bandwagon
I get it.
bullying Drake. You
I feel bad about Philly and Drake.
anyway. Um, Conclave was really good. It was a really good script. It was very tight. It was fun. It was about intrigue. It was about like men being bitchy while also wearing like, those little Prada outfits that the Cardinals wear. Like, it was fabulous. I really liked it. Stanley Tucci.
That's the sense I got from that's the sense I got from like all the clips I saw of it. 'Cause I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but yeah, it's just like men being like really bitchy about the politics of the Catholic
Yes.
Church,
And
basically.
like
Yeah.
they're being so frank with each other because it's like not everybody speaks English. So like the dialogue is really
Mm.
frank, but also there's a lot of subtext and it's very, very bitchy. And John Lithgow is there just like scowling at everybody. And I don't know. It was really,
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
And like I've said many, many times, I love Isabella Rossellini, so glad to see her nominated.
Okay. Okay. I guess I don't know. Like, yeah, that's my own thing. I saw like a movie about a potential scandal in the Catholic Church, and my mind just went to dark places. I shouldn't have been so quick to judge.
Yeah, and in the end, it's actually like pretty hopeful and uplifting, I thought. Like it was, I didn't know quite how they were going to land the
No.
plane.
Okay.
It's not the choice that I would have made, honestly, from like a script, from a screenwriting perspective. Like at the end, there is like something that's kind of played as if it's like a big reveal or like a twist or something. And I thought that that didn't really work for me. Like if it was going to be a twist, I wanted a bigger twist. But I really, overall, like I really liked it. Um,
Well, I
yeah.
need to watch
All
it.
right.
It's on
I'll
my
check
list.
it
So
out.
good
Yeah.
award. Best animated feature, Flow. People love that little Latvian cat.
No. Yeah. Yeah. He's on
I
HBO if you want
watched
to
it
watch
with the
him.
kids. It was
I
so
know.
Yeah.
cute.
I've
Yeah.
been oh,
Oh, yay.
I keep almost clicking on it and then going to something dark and true crimey, and I've been kicking myself because why wouldn't I just watch Flow?
Did your kids
They
like it?
did. Yeah. So it's like about animals, so there's no dialogue. It's just like actual like animated animals. And it's this kind
Oh.
of like world of magical realism, and it's about how, you know, our world can be scary and there is conflict, but if we all work together, we can all find a place in this world where we can all get along. And it was very, very sweet. And I liked what
Oh,
it had to say. And yeah,
I'm definitely watching
yeah,
that.
good movie. So proud of those Latvians. Um, Best documentary feature. I hedged and
Mm,
I was like, I'm gonna watch one documentary feature because they all are about something that I find to be upsetting. And I picked
mhm,
Sugarcane, which is not the one that won. So
mhm. Yeah.
anyway,
But I did like the speech. The speech was
I
quite
thought the
nice, I
speech was
thought.
good, and I thought I didn't know
Yeah.
how that was gonna go. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, yeah, me too, but I thought it was quite they did quite a good job, I thought. Yeah.
Everyone in the room was like maybe a little nervous, including the camera guy, and he didn't know who to go to for reaction shots.
Yeah,
But then
he's
he
like
landed on
yeah,
just
yeah.
like lesbians of color, which I think is the right choice.
It's usually the right choice. You're covering
Yeah,
those
he's like, who's
bases.
gonna
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
nod respectfully? It's gonna be Cynthia Erivo and her date.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Yeah. All right. And then what was next?
A Real Pain, which was the awardee for supporting actor, which was lovely.
Mhm.
Kieran Culkin, I loved his acceptance speech. He's really been like workshopping it, and this felt like
Yeah.
peak this particular acceptance
Yeah.
speech. He
Yeah.
really went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He went
agree.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny. He's like, love of my life. Oh, ye of little faith.
He just
Like,
wants more kids.
I know I laughed at that.
yeah, I know. Now they have 4 kids.
Poor
Poor
wife.
wife.
But honestly, like it was such a good performance. Although I do feel like of all the performances that seemed like Kieran Culkin seemed like, you know, he knows how to do this because he's been doing it for many, many years on Succession. And I think people
Mhm.
like that, so
Yeah.
they liked this
Mhm.
performance. And
Mhm.
it, from everything I heard in like the press
Yeah.
tour, it kind of sounded like he would just like come to set maybe kind of late, like learn his lines like in a savant way in like 5 minutes and just like say them accurately.
Well, I've heard he can do that because I heard him interviewed on like Fresh Air or something, and he said like he can do that because he's been doing this for so long. He can just like take a look at the script and be like, okay, I'm good to go. And like it's just like it's something in his brain that just clicks
Yeah.
because
He's
he
got to have
learned
some
it.
savant thing though, because we all do things for a long time. I can't look at like a building and be like, yeah, I got
Yeah, but
it.
I mean, he did it since he's done this since his brain was like,
Yeah,
went through all the most
you're right.
plastic,
Yeah.
stages. So
Yeah.
maybe he's a savant too. Cool. But like, yeah, I'm just pointing out,
Yeah, no, that's
I'm just
interesting.
referencing an interview that I heard him
Yeah, no,
talk about
he
it.
has said that
Yeah.
in
Nice.
most interviews, and Jesse Eisenberg, who really put in a lot of work on this press tour, also said that
He
a
did.
lot, that
Yeah.
Hmm.
like you know, it made him very nervous that like Kieran didn't learn his lines until like the day of, and then
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he said. He said it drives his co-stars crazy because like they get really nervous and they're like, is he gonna like pull this off or like what's
Yeah,
gonna
I'd be
happen?
scared.
And
Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
terrified. I mean, I have to say I've done that with ballet though before where people are like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you know? And I'm like, don't worry, I'll like back when I was like dancing. Like, don't worry, I'll figure it out. I'll do it. And
you're
then
like the
I do
Kieran Culkin of ballet. People always say that about you.
We've heard that for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we you
ever since
have?
Home Alone came out. Yeah, we knew. Yeah.
Stephanie has
He was the little
Kieran
brother, right?
Culkin
In Home Alone?
level
I don't
ballet
know.
savant skills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. That's why I still do it. Not. And then there was that part at the end where they like talked about Binghamton too, where they're like, why don't you come visit me in
Oh my
Binghamton and blah
God.
blah blah.
Yes, they
So
Wait,
did like
what?
a tight 3 on how Binghamton is not that bad.
I'm not love that. Yeah. Yeah,
Wait, did they
because
have
they
like
were
a real
like,
pain?
yeah, because like
What?
one brother lives in Brooklyn and the other lives in Binghamton, right? And he's like, why don't you ever come to
And
Binghamton to
Jesse
visit me?
Eisenberg
He's
says,
like
nothing is wrong with Binghamton, like 11 times.
So something's wrong with it. Okay.
Says Rachel, who's sitting in
Guys,
Binghamton
nothing
right
is
now.
wrong with
I wish I
Binghamton.
was there. I love Binghamton.
We
I
all love
You
love
don't deserve
Binghamton.
Binghamton.
We all
this.
love it.
I wish I
This
was
is
there right
this
now,
is
even
literally
though
what
it's
I
so cold.
constantly say to my sister though. I'm like, why don't you come visit me in LA? Like nothing. She's like, nothing's wrong with LA. But
That's not. Oh my God,
what?
Gretchen.
Come
Okay,
visit me in
we're gonna
LA.
move on. What's the next?
Before we move on, I really want to shout out Yura Borisov because I thought that his supporting performance, which was not the winner, was really lovely in Honora. He like
Yeah.
has this kind of like magnetic quality in the film where, and like maybe it's on purpose, but like he's kind of just in the background of every shot, just like, you know, hanging out. He's not like chewing the scenery, he's not upstaging anybody, but he is pulling your attention and he's pulling the attention of the lens, I think. And it's a really kind of quiet, lovely performance. And it reminded me a little bit of Mahershala Ali when he won for Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight. He only had like 11 lines in that entire
Oh,
film.
he was so good in
Like he
that.
basically just had
Yeah.
one scene, but it was
Yeah.
so powerful. And I felt a little bit like that about
Yeah.
Yura Borisov. So I think he's one to watch.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
just gonna say, you think he's one to watch? You're a Borisov. He's one to keep an eye on. Okay,
Yes.
all right,
So moving on
cool.
to Best Supporting Actress, and here we are, full circle at Amelia Perez. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what do we want to say about Zoe Saldana?
I love your speech. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute how she's like to her husband, she's like, "You have
does have
great
great
hair."
hair.
Um, he does have great hair, and he's had that hair for years. Like, yeah. I thought that was cute. And then she talked about her grandmother and all this stuff, and I thought that was lovely. And so I thought it was nice. She just seems so
Yeah,
genuine, like I mean,
I feel like she's
excited.
a class
Yeah,
act. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
performance itself,
yeah,
like, you know, she didn't maybe have what we would have preferred her to have to work with, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. But she put her all in. Yeah,
she did, and she really wanted
yeah,
this. Like you could tell, and yeah, so I'm very happy
Yeah.
for her. A lovely speech.
yeah.
Someone who
I
I'm
agree.
not happy for, though, are the writers of El Mal that won for Best Original Song.
Oh my God. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
I did note
Cringe, cringe,
that
cringe.
no one, it was a little disappointing that no one on stage that won for Amelia Perez mentioned anyone from the trans community, though.
Because that was not where their heads were at
Obviously,
when
I'm
they were
surprised about.
writing this
No.
musical.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that was
It
very
was
clear.
not about that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
a little bit disappointed though about
That's a
that
good point.
because
Yeah.
they're, suffering so much under this administration. It would have been nice to hear a little bit about that, but that's all right. I mean, what are you gonna
Oh
do?
my
They did
God, that was
sing,
so,
not great.
I was so
Um,
embarrassed for everyone.
I know, I
It was
know.
hard to
It was funny because I got a
watch.
text from Rachel when they won, and I was like, "For fuck's sake!" That's what it said. I was like,
Oh my
"Yeah."
God. And then she started singing and
Um,
like the camera cut away and they were like, let's please God, like let's just find someone who's like reacting normally. And I think maybe that's when there was like one really funny reaction shot from Gal Gadot. That might have been when it
oh.
happened. And then they came back to the stage and her partner had left the stage and she was like still out
She's like, "Go, get out of here."
Oh
She's
my
like, "No, I'm
God, with Mick
singing."
Jagger, like just like,
Um,
oh,
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah,
what
Mick
is
Jagger was
happening?
so funny. Yeah, he's like, where did he come from? But not like where did he come from, but like why was he there? Who knows? I love him. You know,
One
we
of the
all love Mick
One
greats.
of the
Jagger.
He
great
honestly he
wonders of
looks
the world.
great.
Yeah, yeah. And he made a joke about being younger than Bob Dylan. It was funny. Yeah. So
All right, I'll admit by that point I had fallen asleep. I did see the cringy singing on Instagram the next day
Oh,
today, and I was
yeah.
like, I woke up and saw all the texts from you guys about the cringy singing and like the for fuck's sake and all this stuff, and I was like, I wonder what happened. And then I saw on Instagram and I was like,
oh yeah,
that's what that was. Yeah,
absolutely.
yikes.
Um, so yeah, we'll get into the I guess the bigger awards, the more prestigious awards, and talk about the Brutalist a little bit, which won for cinematography. Now, Gretchen, make your case for Nosferatu.
I'm not sure. Pressure, pressure. Okay, I think maybe the thing that I'm thinking of is that Nosferatu, that's what was good about Nosferatu
Mm.
was the cinematography. That doesn't mean that it deserves an Academy Award, that doesn't mean it's like the best one of the group, but I was like, "Oh, that was a pretty beautiful movie." Like it was very well done. I have not been able to carve out 5 hours to watch The Brutalist yet, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
me either, and I really
And
want to.
therefore, I have nothing to compare it to,
I was
so
gonna do it
yeah,
yesterday afternoon. I was like,
yeah.
this is the afternoon, and then like other stuff happened, and I just didn't have the 8 hours I needed.
Well, here's what I have to say
8
is that
hours.
if you watch it at home, you can skip the intermission, so you only need 3.5 hours.
Okay.
Alright. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I just need to find
Well,
something
here's
that's
I have
gonna
a
help
question
me.
actually about brutalism, if we can go to architecture corner for a
Mhm.
minute before we talk about these awards.
Sure.
So in this movie, they say it a couple of times that like the philosophy behind brutalism for this particular architect is that he wants to create buildings that don't need any explanation other than their existence. And he compares like
Mm,
his big concrete buildings to like a mountain, like it just is there. Does that align with what you
mhm.
know about brutalism?
Kind of. Um, in the sense that, first of all, like, with modernity with the modernism movement, like I won't get into it, but like so with brutalism, there's an idea that like there's my professor once put it like there's certain buildings that are like lobsters where you see the everything from the outside, and that's kind of what brutalism is. It's like you see the structure and the skeleton from the outside, and so there's no
Like an
questions about it.
exoskeleton?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a
So there's no
lobster.
No,
question
I'm
about
just
yeah,
I'm
like a
just
lobster.
I'm just
It's a lobster
I
building.
I'm just
So there's a real idea about push and pull. Like you see every like tectonic move that's going into the building from the exterior and the interior. But there's no questioning about it. Like, what does this mean? There's no like with the modernism movement, there might be things about like, oh, there's these transparencies and machine for living, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, this building is a building and it will exist with or without you. And here it is, kind of. That's
Oh,
part
so
of what
that
it is.
sounds
So
kind of
it's
like what they
yeah,
were saying.
like
yeah.
it doesn't need a reason to exist.
No, I mean they're all very functional for the most part. I would say. I think brutalism is very often very specific to what it's housing. But it also was somewhat came as a response to like nuclear wars and like the fear about things being bombed. So they
Mm,
wanted it to be a like there was a level of like strength and like something that, can't be affected by humans quite as easily. Um, that couldn't be
like a
knocked down.
mountain.
Yeah, like a mountain, like Rachel said. So yeah, there's a sense that you want that too. To
Hmm.
say that it's just an object and it should just be there is not totally responsible
Well,
architecture
not that
because
it
it's
should just be
not.
there for no reason, but that it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
the metaphor in the movie is like art for art's sake and not having to
yeah,
necessarily ascribe meaning to something in order to be able to
yeah,
understand or appreciate it.
yeah. That's what realism is about. It's about material.
Okay.
It's about structure. It's about use. It's about, you know, sometimes it's about the object. Sometimes it's about the landscape. Anyways, still a problem because architecture is not an art. It's a service
Ooh,
profession. So
interesting. Okay, so a problem
yeah,
in the very
yeah, yeah,
metaphor that this film is
I've
based on.
yeah,
never,
yeah,
I don't think I understood that until this very moment. I thought it
yeah. I
was
mean,
more of an art, but okay.
I mean,
That just shows what I know.
it has creative elements, but it's a service profession. You're doing it's for other people. It's not supposed to be for you.
Ooh,
So,
interesting. See, all of
but
this is really brought
yeah,
up in this movie, but I do think that it's so interesting that The Brutalist was awarded for cinematography, score, and then leading actor. But in terms of like the cinematography and the score versus the things that it did not win for, which are the writing and the directing, there was this whole like big thing in the narrative of this movie about Brady Corbet being like, I am this filmmaker and I need to have final cut. And he had final cut on this 3.5 hour long epic that is very much like a metaphor. Like he is Laszlo Toth, like he is the brutalist.
he
He
is the
is the
realist.
artiste and it is
Yeah,
his vision and it will not compromise and art for art's sake and you know everything is in this movie. Like every single theme that you can think about that would be in a movie about like a Jewish immigrant 20th century architect is in this movie. And it kind of reminded me of did you guys watch The New Girl? Do you remember on The New Girl when
yeah,
Nick writes his novel and he publishes it himself and he's so proud afterwards and he's like, I put a
yeah,
word find in it. Like that is what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
with Brutalist. Like
They're like, so like they're reading it like this is unreadable, and he's like, but I finished it.
like no one is editing Brady Corbet, and it shows. And it shows because those are the
Oh,
awards
okay.
that he did not receive. So, meanwhile, on
Mm,
the cinematography and the score,
yeah,
they're so tight. Like the score, especially, like because
mm.
it is edited, it's considered.
That
It's
that guy was so funny on stage. Yeah, yeah. Sorry to
oh
interrupt you. That
the
guy, the
composer.
one, he was yeah, the composer. Yeah, he was so funny. He's like, I don't want to be here up here, but like the way he was acting. Yeah, but um, so it was very tight, very considered, very aligned.
Like it 100%. I mean, the score was amazing. And, the movie was this epic. So the score felt very epic, but it felt very appropriate to the time period, especially there were like jazz elements to it. Um, the music was like really specific and, it had like this kind of like expectant quality, this kind of like ticking clock at some moments, and then at some moments like it was really anxiety producing, then at some moments it was really propulsive. It had kind of like a train, like a locomotive quality to it. It was so good. And it's really tight and it won. Similarly with the cinematography, like the only thing about this like visual movie that like really showed any restraint was the cinematography, um, which
Mm,
I
okay.
thought was really beautiful. There's a shot of like a quarry. They go to Carrera to like pick out marble, and there's just like a shot of the marble quarry in
Mm,
Carrera, and it's really just like 45
so
seconds of a
cool.
static shot of this marble quarry. And I'm like, yeah, like what else could you possibly even do? Like it showed so much
Yeah.
restraint, and it was considered, and it was edited, and like, that some of it was like a major
You're really
flex.
making me wanna see this movie. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, I
No,
just
good. I'm
really
glad.
wanna
It
see
was,
this
I
movie
really loved this
now.
movie. I thought it was great. The opening shot was like a oneer
Yeah.
that like travels like in the dark like hold of a ship up into the light, and that's where you get like the upside down Statue of Liberty shot that's on the poster. So like the
Oh,
cinematography was incredible, but I just think that like maybe this little experiment of campaigning on the idea that all directors should have final cut is like has not paid off.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of an issue. I mean, I feel like that era has passed us by. Like, we don't have the auteurs anymore, and I feel like in architecture, like at my firm, we say there are no star architects. Like a star architect would be like the guy that's like, no, this is we do it my way, and everything is going to be my way, and this is how it's going to
That
be.
would be the brutalist.
And there's a lot of yeah, and that's like how a lot of architects were in the 1950s and 40s, and that's how they became famous. But a lot of those buildings didn't work,
Mm.
and they would have a lot of problems, and they'd leak, and people were not comfortable in them, and they felt very exposed, and so there's a reason to not do that. But I feel like a lot of it's also like a very male approach sometimes to be like, oh no, I got it. You know, yeah. Yeah, I
Sometimes.
only say that because all of the architects who did that were all men, in the 1950s and stuff. But it's interesting that he found that parallel there because I mean, it's still like the film auteurs that I guess feel it is their product and they are should be the only hands on it almost. So,
Although someone else who is the auteur and was awarded for all of the things that he
mm,
himself did
Sean
on
Baker.
his film was Sean Baker. So
Yeah,
um, we
yeah,
can talk about
yeah.
the other side of the coin there. But also, The Brutalist was the film for which Adrian Brody won for leading actor. So
Mhm.
happy for him. This acceptance speech was
Yeah.
insane.
He's like, I've done this
Oh my
before.
God.
Stop the
Oh
music.
my
I'm like,
God.
dude. The only reason I don't hate him right now is because he went to Pasadena Humane Society and hugged all the animals, apparently. So that was like 2 weeks ago.
That does make him hard to hate.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, weird, very weird.
It was so weird. Like, it was so funny. Like, he
Yeah.
just kept talking for so long that, speaking of cinematography, like, the camera guy was like, I'm running out of like stuff to do. He started
Yeah.
like, he's like, well, I'll do like a push in here and I'll do a wide shot here. And by the end, like, he was doing like a low Dutch angle. Like, he thought he was shooting the brutalist.
He's like, all right, I could go in this way. He's like, great, I have time to experiment. But yeah, he kept being like, I'm not going to be egregious. I'm like, you're
So
literally being
egregious.
egregious right now. So yeah.
Oh my God.
But that was funny. That was really
I
funny.
love Adrian Brody though.
And then I do too. I'm a little disappointed that he's dating Georgina Chapman. That might be we got to
I
do
know
a
we
deep
have
dive
to
on that
talk about
later
it.
because
But also, like, can we talk
yeah,
about like
yeah.
Brody's career, which has been like baffling? Like, has anyone who has 2 Academy Awards made as many straight to VOD terrible movies as Adrian Brody?
No, he's very bizarre. I think he's
I
just a weird
mean,
guy.
perseverance. Yeah, I think that's why he doesn't like completely annoy me. Like I like him because I feel like he just kind of he knows who he is, he embraces it. There's something about that that's kind of endearing or something.
I did see an Instagram post from someone today who was complaining about his speech, and he's like, "Is Adrian Brody a good actor, or does he just have a weird face?" And I was like, "Maybe it's
It could be
both,"
both.
and
No,
that's
I think
okay.
I
Yeah,
think that's the point. Like that's the
yeah,
thing. Like it's both, and maybe that's why people are always like they have strong opinions on him, but I
yeah.
think it's both.
I do think it's a little bit
Yes.
like I wish that he got the opportunity to make better movies, and my sense is that maybe he just doesn't get the opportunity because the 2 times that we've seen him awarded with an Academy Award, he's been playing this like, piteous World War II era Jewish savant, and like it kind of feels like,
Yeah.
Hollywood is only interested in one thing with Adrian Brody, and I feel bad about that because I love
Very
him.
specific.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he could have a larger range
I've
than
seen him in
he's really
something that was like
given.
really like he in like some kind of gangster movie where he was played a weird gangster, or am
Yeah.
I mixing it up with
Can he
someone?
be
No, he was in
funny?
was it Poker Face? He played like a gangster and or kind of like gangster adjacent in Poker Face. He was in Peaky Blinders. He played a gangster. Yeah,
Wes
the Wes Anderson
Yeah.
Anderson?
movies. I love him in
Yeah.
those. So I think,
Oh yeah, and he was yeah.
but yeah, proud of him.
Okay. Yeah.
We will
Yeah,
circle back to
Yeah.
Georgina Chapman.
Um,
good for him.
we will go back to
Yeah,
that.
it's not
Um,
her
yeah.
party.
No, you
Yeah.
know whose party it
This
was
isn't her
though was
party.
Sean Baker.
Yes.
Yes.
My fellow coffee shop dweller. I've
Yes.
said this more. I have like I'm just clinging on to things now because I've seen him at my coffee shop before. I didn't know who it was, but someone else was like, "This is Sean Baker." But yeah, but what I did appreciate about him though, like yes, there's the auteur thing where like they have hands everywhere. But like he went on stage and he's like, I edited this movie and that director sucked. Like it was funny. And he was talking about himself. He's like, I don't know who hired this director. And I just feel like it for him, I don't know if it's so much of an auteur thing as like he came from independent film where you had to do it all
Mhm.
yourself. Um, but that's kind of the sense I get with him. Could be wrong, of course, but that's like it's less of a control thing, more of like, oh, this is just how I've always done it, and I'm not sure how to do it otherwise. I don't know, but
Well,
could
he
be wrong.
doesn't seem to be the kind of person who like is not collaborative. Like he just like
Yeah.
judging from kind of like the vibe of everybody on stage at the end when they won Best Picture, like it seemed really convivial. It seemed like he had fostered a real sense of community amongst the cast and crew. I think that people really like him and like working with him. So, but I do think that, yeah, like it benefited this movie to have it be his vision seen through from the screenplay all the way through the edit. Especially with editing, I
Yes.
thought that he really like, you know, or maybe it's in the directing. I don't know. It's like seamless between like the writing and the editing and the directing almost. Like it's kind of like one motion for him and he's like
Yeah. Yes.
he knows
Yeah.
exactly what he needs to do to put the audience like, visually and emotionally in exactly the right place where they need to be in
Yeah.
order to get the benefit of what's going to happen next and it's quite
hmm
good.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a good point. Like, I don't feel like it doesn't feel like he's not collaborative. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really letting those actors cook and I love that about his movies in particular is like he doesn't cut away from like the awkward moment. He doesn't like just yada yada us getting to the next story beat. Like he will keep that camera like uncomfortably trained on the character in that moment until they make the move to move us to the next thing that's happening. And so that was really, it was exciting to watch in this movie, especially with Mikey Madison, because there were so many just like awkward moments where we're just like in this moment with her, just like waiting to see how she's going to claw her way out of it.
Those awkward moments. I feel like it's very it's not traditional like Hollywood. It's not American in a way, but like um I like them.
Did you know
Yeah.
that Adrian Brody owns a big house that's like an old castle looking thing in
I
upstate New
did
York?
know that. Did you know?
Thought it was in
No, it's right
Ireland.
in upstate New York. Do you guys remember? This was maybe like 10 years ago when he first bought this property. He was
Yeah.
interviewed and he was like, "Yeah, I'm having like a weird day." Like when he got to the interview, he like said to the interviewer, he's like, "Yeah, I'm having like a weird day. I bought this house in upstate New York and I haven't been sleeping that well because it's really haunted."
Well, yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's near Utica apparently. Um,
it's near
It's quite close to
Utica.
us.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a YouTuber. Yeah,
yeah,
that's close to us because there's a YouTuber that moved out to
yeah,
like an old haunted house in near Utica that I follow. I really like her.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
And she's like redoing it and stuff. And That's kind of what I like also want to do with my life. Just like buy an old house, like a huge house in the middle of New York State and
But not a
revamp
haunted
it.
one.
But yeah,
I
not
think I
haunted.
think you'd be open to it being haunted, Stephanie, don't you think? I feel like you'd be okay with that.
I feel like no, I want to have neighbors with haunted houses so I can go
Oh,
visit, but
but
then
let him
like
leave. Yeah.
come back to my
Oh my
haunted
God,
house.
yes.
Yeah,
Way to
I
set
see.
a boundary.
Set a boundary with
You
ghosts.
have to set a boundary with ghosts.
Or else they will stay
They will.
forever.
I hope that it's going
Um,
well for Adrian and his haunted house.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Me
yeah,
too. Yeah,
yeah. All the
but
best to
interesting.
him and
All the
his
best.
house.
Our thoughts
Thoughts
and
and
prayers
prayers.
for Adrian Brody and
All the
oh my
best.
God. All right. So what's our last thing? Anything else you want to
I
talk
think
about?
that we basically did it. We talked about the stubs. Oh, wait, I just have to talk about at the end of the like ridiculously long acceptance speech, there were two reaction shots that were just absolutely classic. One was like nearing the end where Sebastian Stan was literally in tears. Like, puffy-eyed the whole
I saw
time.
that. Yeah, I saw that. He was like, "Why is he crying? Is he lost? Is he
Is
crying because
he
he's
okay?
honored?"
Like,
Like,
I
yeah,
just feel like I just want to know if he's
he's a
okay.
little
Like,
bit
He's
off the
not okay.
wall.
He brought
Yeah,
his mom to the
he's
Academy
not.
Awards in an effort to make everyone think that he is not toxic, but he is not okay.
Yeah. And then his girlfriend was there too, so
we
she
don't
was
fall for
actually.
that
Mm-mm.
anymore,
Yeah.
Sebastian
No,
Stan. That was a very 90s
that's a
move.
Bradley Cooper
Mm-mm,
move, top to
mm-mm,
bottom,
mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
and we're not falling for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
Yep.
falling for it anymore. No.
We learned our lesson.
Millennials, we have fully formed brains now.
Yeah,
Anyway, um, other moments from the Oscars. They're Adam
Adam Sandler.
Sandler. Oh, love to see him. He gave us a
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chalamet.
He
Apparently,
was
my
funny.
my friend who was there like was drunk and he stuck his head in Adam Sandler's dressing room and was like, "I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry" is the closest thing to like actual Firehouse banter. Like has the actual like whatever they were doing in that movie is like the closest thing to what it actually is apparently.
Hot take.
And yeah, I know. I was like, "Did you tell him that's okay for
What?
firemen to be gay too?"
I
But yeah.
I didn't see that movie, but I would never have guessed
All
the
right, we
Okay,
gotta
gay
wrap
like
it up. We
over
can
just
always
stuff.
do
start
two. We can always revisit tomorrow.
saying
Yeah.
bullshit that I don't mean. I'm just
She's like,
tired.
why are the Chiefs on the TV?
Legitimate question. If they were not the ones out fighting the fires, then like shouldn't those guys be recognized? I mean, what is it like? I don't think it's crazy for me to say
Oh,
that more than 10% of the people on stage that were firefighters should have been the ones in the fires.
oh my God, Stephanie, you do
Stephanie, you know what? You are an advocate and an ally, and the world needs to
I'm
know.
not even drunk. I
She just said
just
the 10% of the people in the who fought the fires should be in the fires. That's what she just.
of
I
the
know,
people on
I know, I know.
stage. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, you
Okay,
guys.
all right, okay. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Any last comments?
Any
Why wasn't Michelle Trachtenberg honored? That's my only gripe.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that more of an Emmys thing though? Because she was
Well, she died
TV.
in
Was she honored? I
2025.
didn't see it. Oh. But so did Gene
Oh.
Hackman.
Oh.
I mean, I know he's like a more
Well,
famous
he like
actor.
Maybe
just
she
died like the day before the
Yeah.
it's
Oscars.
possible that she was not in the Academy. Maybe she only ever worked in TV.
Yeah. Oh, true. Good
Yeah.
point. Yeah. All
Do you
right.
think
I'll let
Blake
it go.
Lively will go up
I'll let it
there and
go. Blake
honor
Lively.
Blake
her?
Lively was
Sorry, I'm not
That's
gonna
conspicuously
go
fine.
there right now.
absent. Lively and
She's
Reynolds.
one of my
Yeah.
dragons.
Conspicuously
Yes.
absent. Also, Lady Gaga, conspicuously absent. Would have loved to have seen her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I always love
Same.
a Lady Gaga moment.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was a good show overall, though. Nice variation of performances. I thought it was I think a lot of the awards were deserved, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it was good.
So many good looks, so many good
So
clothes.
many
Yeah.
good The Wiz performances.
The
The
brooches, the
Many
brooches.
men
brooches.
in
Yeah.
tuxes with brooches. I just,
A dreamy night at the
like, I hope
Oscars.
that doesn't go away.
Yes, yes.
I hope that we
No
see more
one
men in
no
brooches.
one
That's
slapped
my takeaway.
anyone. That was
Yeah.
great.
No one slapped
Oh
Daryl
my
anyone this whole night. Who knew?
God.
Daryl Hannah did say something for Ukraine briefly, which was nice. I would have hoped for more, but
Yeah, it was
that was
not
nice.
that
I hope we did.
political, other than, the obvious,
No.
like, no other land or whatever acceptance speech. I
Yeah.
thought that it was interesting that Sean Baker
Yeah.
was using his platform to advocate for keeping movie theaters open. Like, it seemed like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, is that like the
Of all the
firstest
things.
of the
Yeah.
first world problems? But
Yeah. It has a little bit of a Chappell Roan
yeah,
feel to it. It was like, yes. Um, I mean, I did appreciate he acknowledged sex workers,
of course,
but
always. I
he could
mean,
have
he
Yeah.
said
loves
many other
sex
things
workers. He's
too. Yeah,
obsessed with
yeah.
sex workers. We get it, Sean Baker.
He literally only makes movies about sex
This is
workers.
why
We
he doesn't
understand.
have to use an intimacy coordinator on his films, because he like is an intimacy coordinator. He's been doing this for so long.
His poor wife is like, so do you like sex workers?
I don't
So,
know what's going on at Sean's
are you
house,
still?
Oh.
but
Yeah. Next time if I ever see him
oh
again,
my
I'll
God,
ask him.
please. Oh my gosh. Thank you
Oh.
for listening to New York Sofalites. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, nysofalites@gmail.com, or follow our socials at nysofalites, and we will see you next time.